Here we have the Chef's Apprentice from the Cryptid Cafe line of Squatchy Games. We are going to look here at the back. It is for 2 to 4 players, 13 and up, 30 to 60 minutes. Here are all the components. You're going to need your draft, plate, prep, and garnish, and win! So let's get this open and see all the innards. So we open up. First thing we got is the rule book. So looking through here, welcome to the game. There's your index, your game setup, the component breakdown, how to play, more how to play, the plating of dishes, prepping dishes, prep tokens, eyeballs, snail garnishes, spatulas, scoring, and blank page. Next up we have the Kraken board. So this is where you're going to have your snail garnishes. You can put your eyeballs right there. You're going to have your tiles there. And then there is the Kraken Chef. So we do have all the wood bits and components. So we have your snail garnishes. Nice wooden, double-sided. You have your score pad. You'll see I had a fairly decisive victory. She kind of messed up on a couple of her goals, thinking corners and columns and what have you. Let's go ahead and get this kind of cleaned up. Yeah, I'll get that in a minute. So here are your different personalities that you yourself can be. The little sous chefs, assistant chefs. Got the Beast of Busco, your Wendigo, a Yeti, Mothman, a Squonk, so sad, Fresno Nightcrawler, Jersey Devil, Snallygaster, Hodag, Mongolian Deathworm, Chupacabra, and the Grafton Monster. There's all those. These are little things to hold up the chef's board. You'll see those when I do show you how to play. Then these are your different orders and the chef's challenges and what have you. So we got the customer requests. So you have your level 1s, here are your level 2s, and then here's the chef's challenges. So these are private goals that you're going to be trying to do. There are those. In here, these are your spatula tokens. These will let you be able to do certain things throughout the game, but if you use them, you're going to be covering up points on your character's card. You got a big old thing of eyeballs. These are really big, nice, hefty size, really thick. These feel really cool. You have a bag of double-sided prep tokens. So you have varying different sides. These are basically all the different temperatures and flavor profiles, all in that bag. Then we get to the tiles. So these are all the dishes, and if you look on the back, it says what their names are. I'm going to kind of just give you a brief glimpse because they do repeat some at times, so kind of just going to give you an idea of them. There are quite a lot of them. So there's that. And as I said, you have this whole stack here, and then all those left in the box as well. So a ton of different dishes. But let me go ahead and get this all set up and show you briefly how this plays. Here we are set up for a 2-player game of the Chef's Apprentice. Each player is going to grab themselves a chef card and 3 spatulas. You're then going to put out a level 1 card, a level 2 card. You are going to be shuffling up these chef's challenges, dealing each player 2. They are going to select 1. You're going to then put the ones that you've discarded together, shuffle that up, and deal 1 out here for everyone to have. You are going to take all of the prep tokens, put them in the bag, mix them up, put out 3, being careful not to look at the underside when you put them out. You're going to put out these snails, covering for the player count, in this instance 2, if we had 3 players and then 4 players. You're going to make a supply of the eyeballs at the end of the table. You're then going to mix up all of the food tiles. You're going to put out 6 here. You're then going to make 3 equal stacks of 26 tiles each and putting them up on top. you are going to have the score pad nearby for end of game scoring, and that is the setup for Chef's Apprentice. On your turn, you are going to draft 2 food tiles. You are then going to plate those food tiles. You're going to choose if you want to do any prepping, and then you're going to choose if you want to do any garnishing. To draft a food tile, you're going to look out here and you're going to grab a food tile. You can grab from any row and any column. If you want to grab these first ones, they are free. You simply take it, like so. This slides down, and the next one comes up. If, however, say you want to take this one here, or even one back here, you can trash the dishes that are in front of it. So in this instance, if I want that one, I would trash these 2. They would come over to my area. They're going to be a -1 point each at the end of the game. You're going to make a stack, and then we'll go ahead and grab that tile. Again, refilling after you take it. Now, once you have drafted them, you are going to plate them. When you plate the tiles, your first tile can go anywhere. Just put it right in front of you. If it has an eyeball on it, you are going to take an eyeball for it and every orthogonally adjacent tile that has an eyeball on it as well. I will explain that when I draft some more tiles. Every subsequent tile now needs to go next to a tile you've already placed orthogonally adjacent. So in this instance, let's go ahead and put that one right there. Once placed, they cannot move. You are also maintaining a 4x4 grid. Once the 4x4 grid is completed for everyone, then the game will be over, but you cannot go more than a 4x4. After you get done plating the dishes, you can choose to if you want to prep. When you prep, you are allowed to take 1 token from this area. If all 3 tokens show the same instance on top, those 3 will get discarded. You will refill from the bag, again making sure you don't look at the underside. If 2 of them are the same, you can optionally choose to discard them all, replenish them, again making sure you don't look at the underside. When you choose a prep token, it is going to go on the designated area on this. So you're going to have your temperature and you're going to have your flavor. So in this instance, let's say I choose to take this token. Once I have chosen the token, I am now allowed to look at the other side and choose what I want to do with it. And then I am going to place it on one of my dishes. You will then refill the row, again, not looking at the other side. A dish can only hold, at most, 1 token for flavor and 1 token for temperature. The different icons in the game are shown here. So these are your flavor icons. These are your temperature icons. Going back to eyeballs, so let's say on my turn I choose this tile and this tile. We then can place this one, we'll say right here. This is going to give me 2 eyeballs, 1 for this one and 1 for this one. So I'll take the 2, put it back here. Again, same thing with this. If I put this here, that's going to be 1, 2 eyeballs. Now, eyeballs have 2 uses during the game. One use is you can buy a snail garnish. When you buy a snail garnish, there are 2 different prices. There's a lower price with a little triangle and the exclamation point, and then a higher price with the little clock symbol. If you want to place the snail garnish now, in this instance, I would spend 1 eyeball. I would grab the snail, and I will place it on a piece of food. I'll explain what that does when I get into scoring. Alternatively, I could have spent 3 eyeballs, and when I do that, I take it, but I set it aside, and I can place it at a future time. The price goes up. This is a 3 and a 5, a 3 and a 5, and a 4 and a 6. The other use of eyeballs during the game is you can spend 1 eyeball to go ahead and look at the underside of one of the tokens. And so in essence, I could spend my other 2 to then look at the bottom of them. Alright, now I know what's on those, and now I can decide what I want to grab, or in this instance, if I want to refresh it. So once you are done prepping and so forth, it'll move on to your opponent's turn, and you'll be going back and forth until you have a 4x4 grid. Let me get into spatulas really quick. Spatulas have 4 options when you use them. You can use it to change the placement of 2 plated dishes on your tableau. So in that instance, I could spend this, and when you spend it, you're going to put it on your board, covering up victory points. I could spend that to say instead, swap those two around. I can use it to change the placement of 2 dishes on this main board. So again, I could spend it and say, you know what, I want this one, so let's bring that down and put that one up there. Thirdly, you can exchange 1 plated dish tile for 1 dish tile on the main board. Any prep tokens or garnishes stay with the already assigned dish tiles. So for instance, when I have this one here, I could do this and say, you know what, I'm going to swap that for this. This comes up here, and it keeps the tile on it. Finally, you can spend a prep token or a spatula to refresh all the prep tokens, set them aside, putting out 3, not looking at the underside, etc. So that is spatulas. So here's an example of how your grid might look at the end of the game. One thing about these snail garnishes is that you can ever have at most 3. So in this instance, I was able to get all 3. You're now going to go through the sheet and score each thing. So you're going to start by looking at your customer level 1. It gives you 2 points per bland food. And then this is where snail garnishes come in. If a food where a snail garnish is used in a scoring card, you get 2 extra points for each scoring card. So in essence, a snail placed properly can score you 2 points on 5 different cards. But for this example, we have this level 1, 2 points per bland. So we have 1, that is not on 1, so 1, 2, 3 with a snail, we'll call that 4. Coming around, 5, 6, 7, with the squirrels 8, 9, 10, so that would be 20 points. Next up, we'd look at this next one. You're going to get 3 points per pair of modified temperatures. So you'll notice it shows a little M on that corner. That is to signify it is in regards to temperature. Well, we have modified 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when looking, we have the snails on 2 of them. So we'd have 4 total, so 2 pairs would give us 6 points, 8 points, 10 points because of the snails. You then will look at the chef's challenge. It wants the same column of dishes with the same flavor. You'll notice it's got the F, and that's to signify it's in this corner. So we have this column right here. That is our only column. But you see there's 2 snails there. So that's 2, 4, and 4 is 8. You then are going to look at your personal one. This one wants a row of flavors. So we have our row right here. Again, a snail's here. So we would have, get that right there, the 4 plus 2 would be 6. You then are going to look at your personal chef. You're going to include any points not covered with your spatula. In this instance, he's also going to give us 1 point for every water drop and 1 point for every snowflake. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a snail here, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 points roughly. I might have missed one, but that would be how you'd score your personal chef, again including this 5, so that would be 24. You are then going to get a point for every 2 eyeballs. So 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, and that is it. You're then going to lose a point for every trashed dish. Total up to points, highest points is the winner. So that is roughly how you play the Chef's Apprentice Cryptid Cafe. Reverse those. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you learned how to play it from this. Hope you'll head down below and hit like, subscribe, comment, share, ring the bell. Maybe help support the channel by visiting and joining our Patreon or donating to our Ko-fi, or even joining the channel itself to where you can then see videos early, participate in polls, and get other fun behind-the-scenes experiences that are exclusive to our channel members. So, until next time, cook it out.